We have recently hit 7,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful for that landmark, but now we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so it would be greatly appreciated if you could take 1 second out of your day to drop a sub on the channel. Enjoy the rest of the video. Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy No Limit Dots here, back with another video. And before we get into today's video, I just want to remind y'all out there that y'all are kings and queens, and I hope you all are having a very very day. And in today's video, I'm here to bring you guys the top 10 best big man jump shots in season number 3 for NBA 2K24 next gen. Right, this is going to be jumpers for 6'10" to 7'3" players. I know a lot of you guys probably potentially may have just bought the new game, you know, got it for Christmas or whatever. So I'm here to give you guys 10 jump shots, 10. And you know what, for some reason it seems like you guys always love my big man jump shot videos, because it is the toughest position to shoot on due to the lack of options in reality. But starting off, one thing, you want your jump shot meter off, you want to go ahead and buy shooting boost, right? You want to get shooting boost. And then in terms of the visual cue, what I would recommend, I personally shoot on set point on every single build I play on, right? But I would say most people play on push or release. I would recommend push if I had to recommend one of the 4, but I personally shoot on set point. And also guys, these jump shots have been tested by top players, top poppers in the pro-am community. Very good players. But nonetheless, go ahead and get into jump shot number 1. The number 1 jump shot that I would recommend, as I'm pulling up my list, the number 1 jump shot I would recommend is going to be Jonathan Isaac base, right? So we're gonna go with Jonathan Isaac base. And basically for all these jump shots, well, actually also before we do get into the jump shot, a popper build that I would recommend is going to be something along the lines of this one. So you could go ahead, pause it, screenshot, whatever you got to do. This is one of the best popper center builds that you could potentially make. Very good build. But going ahead and getting into the jump shot itself, you're going to put on, like I said, it's going to be Jonathan Isaac, right? If I could just find him. Jonathan Isaac, there he is. And then Marquise Chris, you're going to see as a common theme with Tim Duncan. Hypothetically, right, like you could, on that build I showed you, right, how you have 79 midi, you could put 88 Chris, 12% Duncan. But since we don't have the 79 midi or 3 on this build, and to get Jonathan Isaac, you need at least a 76 midi or 76 3. So instead of Tim Duncan, we put Tyler Cook, and we're going to put the blending, keep it at that 88 and 12. I'm going to go ahead and just take a couple of shots in the artist shooting gym. So getting some shots up, I got to green at least 2 before I can move on to the next jump shot that I'm going to show you. That's 1. Let's go ahead and green a second in a row and get out of the gym, and that's going to be 2. So let me go ahead and move into jump shot number 2. Honestly, I'm going to try to put these in the order, I guess, of which jumpers that I would recommend to you. Jonathan Isaac, like I said, is number 1, right? Number 2, I'm going to go ahead and say it is going to be Dwight Powell base. Dwight Powell base is the only jump shot in the entire game on a big man that you could get an A+ speed, right? That's the only jump shot in the entire game, and I'm going to go ahead and put it to 92% Marquise Chris, 8% Tyler Cook. We went ahead and saved it. Go ahead, hop back in the artist shooting gym. I'm probably going to take just a couple shots with each jumper. Each jumper, I know you guys might be like, what's the visual cue on this one? What's the visual cue on that one? Also, at the beginning of the video, that is Jonathan Isaac base. It's the first jump shot I showed you. If you guys are going to ask about visual cues and stuff like that, in all honesty, like, it depends. Like, you have 4 different visual cue times: jump, set point, push, and release. And it's going to just depend on that one. You got to just learn and figure it out. I'm sure there is videos that show you, I have seen, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm sure there is. I have seen videos that show you exactly what those visual cue timings mean and exactly the release point on those timings. But yeah, this Dwight Powell base is no secret what this Dwight Powell base is. You know, like, everybody's probably the most popular, most common big man jump shot. Let me go ahead and show you guys this center build, because this center build I'm going to show you, just don't make this center build. Don't make a center build with only purely 3 and no midi. Just don't do it, because even though the high midi doesn't mean anything for your 3, like, you just get so many less badges. like that. When you get a high midi like that, you get a lot more badges that just help you overall, like catch a shoe, open looks, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get into the third jump shot that I'm going to recommend to you guys, and it is going to end up being my third recommended base. Let me see what I want to give you guys next. Let's go ahead and give you guys the Dwayne Dedmon base. I'm giving you guys a lot of variety here. There's got to be one of these 10 jump shots that you're good with, right? So Dwayne Dedmon, Marquise Chris, Tyler Cook. It's the same business as always. If you want, you could just get it to 94 Chris, 6% Tyler Cook. And like I said, for almost all these jump shots, if you have a higher mid-range or 3 than I do, I would just recommend switching Cook out for Tim Duncan, but I would not get rid of the Marquise Chris base. I would not get rid of it at all. Dwayne Dedmon, it's going to be a little slower. It has a little bit of a load up. It's a little slower than the other 2 jump shots. I'm gonna tell you this. Out of the jump shots, I don't know, that one felt smooth. It's kind of like the poor man's Dwight Powell. Honestly, I might. What's going on here? I mean, from here, can I make it? No, it's gonna be late. Yeah, very late. It's because it does have a little bit of a load up. That's gonna be my big L on this jumper. It's got a little bit of a load up, and I really don't like that about the jump shot. But hey, I am pretty green with it. Let's go ahead and get into the next jump shot. Jump shot number. What is it gonna be? This is gonna be jump shot number 4. I gave you the Powell. I gave you the Isaac. I gave you the Dwayne Dedmon. This next jump shot. I mean, all these jump shots, obviously, I'm gonna give them to you because my boys have used them and they say it's a good jump shot. You know what I mean? So I'm not giving you guys no trash. There's obviously gonna be preference over each other. You know what I mean? But for this one, Jared Vanderbilt, we're gonna have the same blending, Chris and Cook. Let me see. On some of these, you could still get Tim Duncan. Like this one, you can still get Tim Duncan, and you can put Tim Duncan all the way up to 12%. Because we do have the 77.3 or the 77 midi. And this is one of my most underrated jump shot bases as a big man. Jared Vanderbilt, I really like it. And a couple jump shots, because I have a whole list on my other window. And a couple of jump shots, I'm going to show you guys my secret sauce. So you want to stay for sure to the end of the video. It's going to be slightly late. That's going to be green. Yeah, this Jared Vanderbilt, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about it. But for me, this jump shot just works for me. You know what I mean? Like you saw me. I was bricking some of the other big man jump shots, but I like this jump shot. It honestly might be the ugliest out of all of them, but I like it the most. I don't miss at all with that Jared Vanderbilt jump shot. Of course, it's going to be different in game, especially prime and rec. Your timing is going to be exactly the same, but of course, a lot of things are going to come into factors such as your stamina, the type of catch you get, whether you're standing still or a slip pop or a pop wing, a pop middle, you know what I mean? Like your movement, whether you're hit early, late, you know, like you get a load up, smooth catch. That's just how 2K shooting is, you know, the last 2 years. A bunch of different timings that you just got to remember. It's obviously not as bad as last year, but it's still pretty bad. So next we're going to go ahead and move into PJ Washington. This is going to be a little bit lower on my list, but I still want to show it just as an option. PJ Washington, it's going to be all the way at the end. Where's he at? Here he is. So you need a 76 midi or 3 ball to get this, and you can't use Tim Duncan on this. Yeah, you just can't use Tim Duncan as one of the releases. We're going to go ahead and put on Tyler Cook. And we're going to put Cook up to, up to 11. So 89 Chris, 11% Tyler Cook. Let's go ahead and show you guys the PJ Washington jump shot. And I believe that's jump shot. I'm giving you 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be jump shot number 5. I'm always practicing from the top of the key. Or little shooter. I know my boy Jay probably hasn't played on this build in a minute. And but he's a sniper. He don't need your lessons. He don't need your lessons. Give me that. Honestly, the PJ Washington jumper, even though I think it had like an A speed, might be one of the quickest. I will also say a lot of these jump shots, they just look very similar to each other. Obviously, it's because I have very similar releases. You know what I mean? But wow, I've elated every single one of these jump shots. His jumper's that fast. His jumper is that. I mean, I'm also shooting on set point. As I said, for centers, I would probably recommend push. I wouldn't recommend set point for centers. Let's make that a last shot. It's because I knew I greened it. Let's go ahead and get into jump shot number 6. Now this jump shot, I'm just trying to give you guys all options here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you guys all options. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, all right. I want to make sure I didn't miss a jump shot that I was supposed to give you. The next one is going to be Justice Winslow, right? So we're going to say in the W's, Justice Winslow, and it's going to be 100% Marquise Chris, unless I want to change that last second. Let me see, Marquise Chris. Why do Marquise Chris is just by far the best release on the game. So Justice Winslow, this jump shot is gonna look very, like I was just saying about the other jump shots, how they don't look different. This jump shot is going to look very, very different, right? Like you see, it looks very different, but to each their own. You know what I mean? He's got like a whole leg kick, like an entire leg kick, like, and he like slants his body. But honestly, I like the jumper. I don't mind. I could see it like if you're running a 5 out and you're sitting corner, I think it would be a pretty good jump shot. I'd have to see like how you see how I just caught that weird and he didn't have his legs like super wide out. He has his legs like completely like how exactly how you're not supposed to shoot a jump shot, how you're not taught. Like he like bends both his like feet pointed like inwards. They're supposed to be like, you know, parallel to the basket. But let's go ahead. That jumper, it's interesting. It's I'm gonna say it's definitely a very interesting jumper. The next jumper right here is going to be probably my second favorite jumper on the entire list. The entire list. This is gonna be my second favorite jumper. It's gonna be, I use this release when it comes to my back end, because I messed up on my back end and I don't have 79 midi or 3, so I don't get what's it called? I don't get Ben Shepherd base. So for this, we're gonna go ahead and put it 90% Chris, 10% Tyler Cook, and it's gonna be Naz Reid. But you gotta be taller than 6'5", and you gotta have at least 75 midi or a 75 3-ball. Go ahead and get into the lab, take a couple shots, and I mean, like this shot, let me just show you from the corner. This is Naz Reid, man. I mean, I use Dean Wade release instead of like these releases I'm using right now, but I love this jump shot. I love the jumper. That's gonna be green or not. Well, there's a reason I don't play on my back end too often, because you know what? Maybe I'm not chicken man from the corner. Let's go ahead and get to the top of the key. Actually, I stink at shooting from corners on any build, in all honesty. Maybe I just stink at shooting from anywhere because I can't hit a single shot. And this is a jump shot I highly recommend it to you guys. And Naz Reid is definitely a baller jump shot. Honestly, it might be the same exact release as Jared Vanderbilt. It's looking very, very similar. Very, very similar. So you just have to test out the two grades between those two, because they look almost identical. Now, these 3 jump shots I'm about to show you right here is honestly like no requirement at all. Like the base requirement for these jumpers is so low that like anybody, like it doesn't matter your build, as long as you got a little bit of midi or a little bit of 3-ball, you could unlock these jump shots, right? So we're gonna go ahead and go over to, let's call it, this one's gonna be Andre Drummond, who, shout out to him, he's actually hooping this year. Hooping. And I'm too lazy, so I'm just going to go ahead and just move Chris all the way to 100. But you would just put primary Chris on this build, Andre Drummond. And like I said, all you need is a 45 midi or a 45 3-ball. Got to be at least 6'10" for this one. This is going to be jump shot number 8. So after this one, I got 2 more to show you. Andre Drummond, it looks like the cleanest at all jump. The thing is, it has an F timing stability. None of these jump shots really have a good timing stability, but this one looks like the most like a jump shot. You know what I mean? I honestly, I like the way it looks a lot. I like the way it looks a lot. That's gotta crack my top 5. Andre, especially the price, you know, the value you get, like how you don't need a 3 or a midi at all really for it. That cracks my top 5 in terms of basis for big men. Then the last 2 jump shots we're going to go ahead and show you, and it is going to be, instead of Drummond, we're going to go ahead and put on Bismack Biyombo, Marquise Chris, and then we're going to put Tim Duncan also on, actually I'll just keep Chris 100% on the Drummond. But for this one, we're going to go 60% Chris, 40% Tim Duncan with Bismack Biyombo base. Go ahead and take some shots. And then the last jumper after this one's gonna be a little famous one. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be an underrated one. This one, I like the Bismack. I mean, I told you I've liked every single one of these jumpers, and they feel good. Every single one of these, like I could tell, like even though this one has like a release speed, all that, it's kind of like a blending between the the Justice Winslow and like the big man jump shots, because he still has his feet pointed out like inwards, like Justice Winslow. I can't even green any of these jumpers. It's just a little. For my liking, it's a little too slow, but that's me. I shoot on the fastest jump shots in the game, like on my point guard. You know what I mean? I shoot on set point. Even sometimes I go ahead and switch to jump. But yeah, I didn't make a single jump shot with that jumper in the art shooting. That's just because that's just me. I can't shoot with slightly slower jump shots. I would term it like that. I would put it like that. But for the last jump shot of the video, we're gonna go ahead and put you guys onto game, and it is going to be is going to be Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and you could keep, you see that release speed was a B+. This one is still going to be a B+ as well, but it's going to be D times stability, and you can go ahead and keep these two blendings. Like me personally, if it was up to me, I would just for Thanasis, and for the other one, I would keep it 90-10. But I think for you guys, you would enjoy the 60-40 blend. Just gives you better defensive immunity, release height, and all that good stuff. But it all just comes down to, like, do you like a faster jumper, or would you prefer the other grades to be higher? I wouldn't say the other grades completely matter as much, especially your center. Your release points already like so high. But yeah, this jumper is smooth. This jumper, I would put it a million times over the Biyombo. The Thanasis Antetokounmpo is smooth. Let's go ahead and end the video off with a fading make. That's green. I made it. Oh my gosh. All right, let me get a fading midi. Fading midi, greened it. No, come on. I gotta end on the video with a make. Give me one. Give me one. You know what? When you're a big man, when in doubt, dunk it out. And guys, that is going to be the video. So comment down below which one of these jump shots you're gonna let me know which one of these jump shots you're going to end up using for the rest of season number 3. And if you did overall enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And it's been your boy, No Limit Dots, and I'm out. Peace.